Hi guys, it's John here from Android Alex, and today we're going to be looking at the DOOGEE T20. So the DOOGEE T20 is a 10.4 inch budget tablet, and you can see here it comes with a 2K display. So that's quite a nice thing to see on a budget tablet. This model here comes with 8 gigs of RAM and 256 gigs of storage, and it boasts quad high-res speakers. Now you can see some other accessories here that DOOGEE have sent me. We'll have a look at those a bit later, but let's just get into the tablet and see how it looks. Okay, so like I said, this is a budget tablet. It retails at about £200 or about $250, but for that price you do get quite a bit of bang for your buck. So you can see here it comes with a case here to pop your tablet in if you wish. We obviously get to the tablet itself, and inside we have a 18-watt charger, so that's nice and quick. We get a capacitive pen here, so let's just have a quick look at this. So this does not require a battery, and you can see here it does have a capacitive sort of nib on the end. I have tried to pull this off actually. I'm not sure whether that is meant to come off, but it doesn't seem to. So that does work as a capacitive pen. And on the other side, be careful because that is a biro, so that will be writing on paper and not your tablet. You also get the standard sort of user manual and a USB-C cable. Under here we do have a SIM ejection pin, which is obviously to install a SIM card in this tablet if you so wish. So let's have a look at the tablet itself. So you can see here this is the 10.4 inch 2K display, and on the bottom here we have some pogo connector here which are for connecting the keyboard. On the right hand side here we have the two speakers, USB-C connector and the SIM card tray and memory card slot. On the top we just have the volume control and the power button, and on the left hand side we just have the remaining of the two speakers here. So it is stereo quad speakers, so it does boast this high-res audio as you can see. This does come with an 8-core Unisoc T616 processor as well, so it's pretty good for the money. Like I say, it's not gonna blow you out of the water, but it is quite a nice nippy processor for the price. We've also got a huge 8,300 mAh battery in here, and yeah, that's going to last you a good few hours during the day. I've averaged about 6 to 8, sometimes 9 hours of screen on time with this tablet, so that's really nice to see. I haven't mentioned the camera here. It's got a quite funky surround here, and you can see here it's a 16 megapixel primary camera here with an LED flash, and on the front we do get an 8 megapixel camera too. So let's just open up the SIM card tray here and have a look inside. So you can see here the tray is a dual SIM or a SIM and micro SD card. So it's quite a fancy thing to have nowadays. It's very rare that you get micro SD cards, so you can expand that by another terabyte of storage if you so wish. So like I say, this has a 8,300 mAh battery in it, and it does last a very long time. I have had AccuBattery running on this to sort of get an average time, and like I say, it has been doing pretty well indeed. So you can see here, on average, it lasts for about 9 hours and 44 minutes of screen on. Admittedly, I haven't been playing loads of heavy games on it, but I have been using it for media such as YouTube, Twitch, and Netflix, that sort of thing. So video playback is lasting nearly 10 hours, which is pretty good. Standby time, 6 days and 8 hours, and a mixed usage of about 28 hours per charge. So yeah, it's pretty good to see really, such a big battery, and it doesn't even feel that heavy. It is just a 478 gram tablet. I believe it's 7.9 millimeter thickness, so not the thinnest tablet in the world, but it's not the thickest either. As you can see, it's reasonably easy to keep in your hand, and you could probably play with that for quite a while without your hands feeling too tired. So this is just a 60 Hz display, but as you can see, it's nice and smooth. As I keep saying, for a budget tablet, this is what you'd expect. 60 Hz running on this 2K display, so it's quite nice. The Unisoc T616 8-core processor seems to do pretty well, and most games run very nicely at about 60 FPS. You do have to knock down the graphics on some of those, but you can skip ahead using the timecodes in the description if you want to check out the gaming section. But first, I just want to have a quick look at the keyboard itself. So the keyboard cover, as you can see, is a sort of standard sort of chiclet keyboard, and it feels really nice to type on. The main problem I've had with it, I'd say, is the clicking of the trackpad here. It's quite stiff currently to click in, but obviously you can just tap to select your options here. But let's just pop this in to the case, and you'll have a quick look at how it's actually fares. We just pop this back piece out here, So it is quite nice to type on. I haven't had any issues whatsoever using this keyboard. The main issue, as I've said, is the click of the trackpad, which is quite stiff. So as you can see here, if I click on things, I'll just move this back slightly. It is quite a stiff click here, but like I say, you can just tap anyway, and I imagine it will get a bit looser over time. It's certainly a tiny bit looser than when I first got it. But yeah, it is worth noting it's quite stiff to start with. But other than that, it's quite nice. It's got these different shortcuts here. So we'll just have a quick look. So you can see the various shortcuts here. We have a home button, but I'll just go straight back to the Android home screen. You've got brightness control, screenshot button, copy and paste, although they're the sort of other way around, paste and copy. Got a shortcut to Gmail and your web browser, whatever your default is. You've obviously got some media controls at the top here, and the lock to just lock the tablet. Now at the bottom as well, you have a back button, which is really handy in most Android apps. And you do have an Alt and a home key. And the home key normally goes back to the home screen of the app you've got open. So it doesn't go back to the main Android home screen. That's this button up here. But yeah, the keyboard itself is quite nice. And like I say, this case is pretty sturdy. You can see your tablet's going to be nicely protected in here. You can still use the camera if you wish to flap this down and use the camera. But yeah, the keyboard cover is a nice addition to this budget tablet, which is quite rare, I think, in budget tablets nowadays. Okay, so we're going to move on to the gaming test now. Just quickly go through the games that I've got installed at the moment, and just you can see how they act basically, or how they fare on the T20. Most games are pretty good, like I say. You do need to get your graphics down to as low as possible most of the time to get that best frame rate. But you can see here, we can do a smooth and ultra on this tablet without any problems. So I'll just load into a quick game.
Identified. It's too close. Fight harder. Hostiles have captured the hard point. Enemy down. Contact. Mark down. Enemy contact. Target down. UAV recon ready for deployment. Enemy contact. Hardpoint contested. UAV online. Let's go this way. Enemy down. Target. Contact with enemy. Hunter killer drone on standby. Predator missile awaiting orders.
Double grabber.
Cousin Ruby.
Yes. Clark, Revisimo.
Kuzo, Pasova.
Chana, double grabber.
Cousin Ruby.
Dirty Grant. Mesko, Zanavesh. Dagopti,
Natsu Badoy.
Chorky.
You can see the performance of the Xbox Game Pass streaming. It's pretty good. The Wi-Fi up here, as you can see, isn't the strongest connection, but it did work pretty well. So yeah, the Wi-Fi on this is pretty good. Let's just quickly do a test while we're here. What we'll move on to now is the camera test. So like I said, it's got a 16 megapixel rear camera and an 8 megapixel front facing camera. Now the maximum that the rear camera can do is 1080p 30 FPS. So I mean, I don't think many people buy tablets for the camera. It's just nice to have for those moments where you may need to suddenly snap something whilst you're out and about. But yeah, I wouldn't put this up against a proper camera phone or anything. It's not really going to do well there at all. But yeah, we can see here with the speed test, 188 down and 74 up. My internet is actually now 1 gigabit per second, so that's not too bad. But of course, it's not Wi-Fi 6 compatible, which the S22 is. Let me just clean the screen a bit there. So you can see the difference here. The S22 Ultra here can go well over 300. And yeah, the T20 can only manage 188. But like I say, it's only a 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi connection that the T20 supports, so that's to be expected. That's about the right speed for a 5 gig connection. Okay, so we'll move on to the camera now and we'll see how it does. We've got a few photos as well, nothing too special, but I just did a few quick snaps so you get an idea as to how it looks. Okay, so here we are just testing out the rear camera and video, 1080p 30 FPS. Now that's the maximum that this T20 can do, but you don't really need to buy a tablet for its video recording capabilities, but we're going to try it out anyway, see what it's like. It's pretty windy today, but hopefully it does contain some noise cancellation. Obviously there's no optical image stabilisation here, but again, you are getting obviously what you pay for here, which is a nice budget tablet. So here we have a good example of the wind at the moment. See how the mic does, cancelling out the sound. Still very cold out here in the UK at the moment, but this is one of the first sort of sunny days we've had for a while, so I thought it was a good idea to get out and actually try this camera out properly while I can. Do get some zoom on here, so we'll try out the zoom. Let's see how I get on. It's just digital zoom, obviously. Obviously you're not going to get anywhere near the quality of an optical zoom there, but again, this is a budget tablet, so do not expect this to go up against the likes of the Galaxy range or the iPhone, obviously. Okay, and then we'll just try out the front camera here, see how it fares. Again, this is the maximum resolution that this camera can do, but it doesn't look too bad, to be fair. I guess the sort of horizontal position of the camera itself, on the front facing, is more heading towards the sort of, what do you call it, the meeting style user who's going to be using it for Teams or Google Meet or something, so yeah, it's not too bad. Slightly blasting my face out a bit, it's looking a bit whiter than usual, but overall, not too bad at all. Certainly for video conferencing, you won't have any problems with this. Just watching videos and things on this is really nice. You can see here, it's nice sort of full screen. Yeah, you get the two bars at the top, which you can zoom into if you really want to. And it gets pretty bright. You may not be able to see it in this video, but it's much brighter than you would need, I'd say, in most environments. Obviously in direct sunlight, you're going to be struggling to see the screen a bit, but for indoor use, it's absolutely fine. Okay, so we'll quickly go over the stylus here. So this is an active capacitive stylus, and it does actually require charging. The one in the box that comes with the tablet, it does not require charging, but this one here does require it. So you can see here, it is a micro USB connector to charge the pen. Once it's on, you just turn it on and it starts working straight away. So you can see here, when I'm drawing, it's not the most responsive in the world. It's not terrible, but it's not the fastest to react to what you're doing. So I am not an artist, so whether it's actually good for artwork is going to be anyone's guess. I certainly can't draw, but it does seem to be slightly laggy to me in comparison to what I'm used to on the S20 Ultra. But again, this is a £200 tablet, so I don't know what you can expect really. But yeah, I think it's pretty good, and it's just a bit of fun really. If you give this to your sort of child, I'm sure they would have many hours of fun. Now again, you can use the included capacitive pen here. That does work as well. So yeah, you don't have to purchase the separate one. Okay, so we'll just try a bit of writing and see how this looks. So there we are. You can see the speed of it. It's not the fastest in the world to respond, but it is still a nice little thing to have in addition. Like I say, you could just get away with the included one, I'd say, and you'll be absolutely fine with that. But this is, I guess, the one with the press sensitivity is more for the artists out there. So if you are a sort of budding or a starting artist, maybe it's maybe a good one to go for just as a budget, just to try it out. But yeah, if you really want to do proper artwork, I guess you'd probably want to go for a more expensive tablet. Okay, so that's my review of the DOOGEE T20. Hope you enjoyed it. Like I say, for media consumption, playing the odd sort of light graphical game, it's really good. And I haven't used any of the calling features. I haven't put a SIM in this, but a dual SIM with memory card expansion as an option is really nice nowadays. It's not something you see very often. And the battery life has been really good, like I've said, and just overall speed and performance compared to my Galaxy Tab 7, like I say, it was much better. So I sent the Tab 7 back, and I'll be keeping the DOOGEE T20 as my main tablet from now on. But yeah, media consumption, this is really good. You can easily immerse yourself into films and media without any problem at all. So yeah, if you've got any questions at all, do let me know down below. I will do my best to answer them. I'll put a link down to the DOOGEE site, and you can pick up one of these tablets pretty cheap, like I say, if you wish to. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.